Hello and welcome back to the channel, Carl's Travel, Cruise and Sightseeing channel. So we are practically on the doorstep of the cruise. So obviously this video isn't to commence the series. The playlist has been created and obviously I've done a video on it the other day just to obviously start it. But the official video will be coming when I finish work on Sunday evening, right? So the plan is basically now, I've got a few things to talk about on this video, so please bear with me. I don't want it to go on and on and on, but I just want to give a few tips and advice to people, and also a suggestion I'm going to put to you. So just bear with me a second. Right, so first of all, obviously, I'm going to do a video tomorrow evening, as I've said, and then I'm going to bring my suitcase downstairs and take my hand luggage up into my attic room, okay? Because I'm obviously going to be putting my documents in there and my lanyard in there that's got all the badges on, including my name badge, okay? And also my wallet, okay? Because I also need to put my debit card in it as well. Because I'm not taking any cash with me, because there's no real point. But also at the same time, lots of places accept card or Apple Pay anyway. So I'm quite happy to just go cashless, basically like the cruise, cashless, okay? But I need my debit card because I've obviously got to register that when I board the ship or when I get to the check-in at the port. So I've got to take my debit card, okay? I don't think they're going to scan my iPhone to get Apple Pay. I've got to have a physical card with me. So I'm taking my debit card with me. I know you can deposit cash, but I'm not taking any. So it'll be my debit card that will be registered for my onboard account, which technically will be hardly anything. Because like I've said, the trip is booked for in Malta and the Corolla is booked as well. So those tickets and etc. and information will already be put in my room at some point anyway. Plus I'll go onto the Navigate app, which I'll access through the phone. So all the bookings are on there. So anything extra I spend will either be in the shop or on photographs. But apart from that, I'm not going to be spending a great deal of stuff. I'm not going to be spending a great deal of money, believe me. So anyway, so I'm going to do a video, obviously, tomorrow when I finish my shift. Okay, the suitcase will be brought downstairs, the hand luggage will be taken upstairs. I'm obviously going to plug my power bank in to charge that up so that it's ready for the next day. And then during Monday, I will obviously make sure that the suitcase has got everything in. And obviously the sandwiches that I've got for the airport, they're in the fridge still. They will be put in the hand luggage bag, along with some crisps and a chocolate biscuit from upstairs that I've got in my chocolate and crisp stash even. Get me words out in a minute. That will be put in the hand luggage as well. And then obviously once I've got everything out of the room, I can obviously lock both bags or just the one. And I'm obviously going to then do a video of the cases in the other room, just to basically say, right, this is it now. This is the real thing, right? And then around 6-ish, I'm then going to obviously do a video in the car. I may even go and put the luggage in the car before I even set off. If it's ready to go, it'll go in the car, ready, right? And I will then do a video in the car to set off for the airport. And I'll also check Google Maps as well prior to that to make sure that the traffic isn't too bad over in that direction towards the M1. If it is, I will then go through off the A50 and go round the back of Castle Donington to the airport that way, and obviously head to the car park as if I was going the other way. But I intend to go right to the end of the A50 and head for the airport the usual route. Once I get to the airport, I will then do a video in the car again to say that I've arrived, what the distance was like, what the mileage is, etc., how long it's taken. I will then leave the luggage in the car and I will lock the car and I will walk to the terminal with the phone and I will do footage and photographs of outside the terminal, and then I will go into the terminal. If I have to go to the boys' room, I'll go and I'll do footage in the terminal and take a photograph of the departure board, which should hopefully have the flight on it for the next day. And if the TUI desk is reasonably quiet, which I'm sure it will be, or there's a TUI rep nearby, right, I will ask them the 3 questions I'm going to ask. What time the desk opens in the morning for the check-in, what the security situation is now. Do we go through the trial one still, or do we go into the new hall that's been revamped? and leave the liquids and electricals in. And then the third one, which is possible, and they might say no, but I'm going to do it anyway, and I'll say, what can I do regarding my bag? Am I allowed to check it in or not, even though the flight's after 12, right? Then whatever the answers to those questions are, I will then head back to the car, do some more footage, and then I will collect my luggage from the car and walk down to the hotel. Okay, that now brings me on to my next subject. So earlier on Saturday morning, I had an email come through from the Leonardo Hotel where I'm staying to basically invite me to do online check-in. Now, you usually get till 2 p.m. on the day of your arrival to check in online, right? If you don't do it, then you check in at the hotel, which may be delayed in the sense of how many people are queuing up and etc., right? Whereas it's best if you just check in online, because the email then said, once I've done it, just basically turn up to the reception and show this email that you've checked in and it's confirmed. Then obviously you'll be given a key, which will be a card that you put into a door, and then I'll just go straight to the room. Okay, so obviously once I've done that, I will obviously have a shower, I'll have something to eat, and then I'm going to go and do a recce outside the airport hotel and photograph and video outside, and then do a little walk up to the terminal just to see how long it takes without carrying luggage. Obviously, because I'm going to go down there with the luggage, but I'm going to have a walk up to the airport without it just to see how long it takes properly. I will then go back to the hotel, and I will then go into the bar and have a pre-cruise drink. That's the plan, anyway. And anybody else that's staying at that hotel that's on the cruise, please say hello to me. Don't be afraid to be on the footage. Introduce yourselves. Tell me about your experience of cruises. Don't be afraid to do it, okay? And then in the evening, once I've done the drink bit in the bar, and I'm not a big drinker, believe me, I prefer tea personally, but I'm quite happy to have the odd beer or cider or even a glass of wine. At the end of the day, I'm going on a cruise, so why shouldn't I celebrate going away? It's been long awaited. It was booked in October. It's been long awaited, right? So my last cruise was 2023, so it's over a year and a half since my last cruise. And I've not been on this ship before. I've been on its sister ship, the Discovery 1. I'm looking forward to seeing Eve and Euphoria, the band from Explorer 2 and Marella Dream. So hello to Eve, Euphoria, if you're watching. I'm coming out on Tuesday to the cruise, so I look forward to seeing you around the ship. Please be on the footage. I look forward to the photographs and selfies that we're going to have and catch-ups. And of course, I've got a load of sweets upstairs to take to the crew as well. So you guys and gals will be getting some out there that are on the ship, even Euphoria. And obviously, for any other bar staff or other staff on board that go the extra mile, that's why I've got sweets. At the end of the day, they appreciate it. It's a kind act. So they're in the case. Plus, I've got my trusty Yorkshire tea bags. Plus, I've got my cartons of apple juice. And I've also bought myself a box of white chocolate fingers to have in the room at the hotel and on the ship, but I may save them for on the ship so I can have a nice cup of tea with them, right? Because at the end of the day, I can do that and edit some videos. And on that thought, obviously when I go back to the room after the drink in the hotel, I will obviously go and do a live stream, explain the situation regarding the arrival to the hotel, and obviously then get some shut-eye, make sure the alarm's set for the next day, and I'll obviously have my sandwich, my breakfast sandwich, cup of tea, apple juice, etc. And then I'll go and drop the key off, and I'll head over to the airport and check in for the flight. Okay, and get through security, get into departures, have a cup of tea in Starbucks, get a bottle of water, do a bit of editing, put the videos on, and then just chill and wait for the flight. And anybody else, like I've said, that's in the queue at the airport, that have been following my videos or on the social media groups, please say hello, don't be afraid. I'll look forward to meeting as many of you as possible, including the couple, I believe Samantha, you're one of them from Birmingham that's going on the cruise. You follow my channel and you've been watching my videos, so I say hello to both of you. Please come and find me on the cruise, and obviously comment on my videos prior as well, because I do have another suggestion I'm going to put to you in a moment. So obviously then the plan will be to video the flight, in-flight and takeoff and landing into Tenerife, and then the transfer to the port, go through the check-in, get the card registered, board the ship. I'll obviously be doing footage outside the ship and when I'm on it. I'll obviously go to the cabin, I'll have a shower, I'll change into my clothes for Cora La. I'm obviously going to do a recce of the ship, do a live stream around the decks, go and visit the different bars on board and get my bearings, basically. Go out onto the pool deck, do some footage out there, and on the deck outside overlooking Santa Cruz. Because obviously then I've got the Cora La booking to go and have dinner, But before that, I've obviously got to watch the muster drill in the room on the screen or on my phone on the app. So I'll download the Navigate app as well, because I can use the Wi-Fi on the ship for free to do that. I will obviously turn the data and Wi-Fi off when we sail, so I don't hit a satellite of the ship and get a load of money charged. So please avoid that. Those of you out there that have been asking about Wi-Fi packages, do not bother. Do not bother, honestly. Either get an eSIM from the airport or a website that you perhaps know of, but please do not bother with the Wi-Fi on the ship. It is not worth it, honestly. It is not worth it. 90 quid, it doesn't last very long, and the download speed is terrible, okay? My brother used it when we went on Explorer 2, and it was rubbish. So please don't bother. All the crew go off the ship into the cruise terminal when the ship docks, and you can go into any restaurant and bar on ashore anyway where the ship is, and there's always free Wi-Fi, and you can usually use your phone data for maybe a few quid, or depending on your phone network, you might not get charged at all. But again, make sure it's turned off when you sail, so you don't hit the ship satellite, okay? That's the advice I'm giving you. And they do generally tell you to turn it off in the cruise news, and it may also be announced through the tannoy, so please listen out for that, okay? Just take my advice, do not bother with the Wi-Fi package. So many people have asked it, it is honestly not worth it. I don't bother with it. At the end of the day, you're on holiday, right? No offence if you want to contact your family and friends back home or share your Facebook photos or video, but just stick to the port Wi-Fi that's free in the terminal, go into a restaurant, or even use your phone data. That's all I'll say, or get an eSIM, right? Which you can get at East Midlands Airport, you can get at Manchester. Most UK airports you can get an eSIM where you don't physically put it in the phone, you just scan a code and obviously register it on your phone, and it will be automatically on there for any travel you do, not just a cruise. So just take my advice on that from an experienced cruiser, an experienced traveller. It is not worth the package of the Wi-Fi. So I hope that's helped in that regard. So anyway, so once I've had my Corallar, I'm obviously going to go out and do a live stream of the ship leaving, and then we've got 2 days at sea. So I'm obviously going to head to Cartagena, where we've now got an extended stay. Okay, so now it's not 10 o'clock till 2 as it was before. It is now 8 o'clock till 3. And also there's not one excursion, there's now 5. One of them is fully booked, which is the land train, which I did on the video earlier on, which I did the update. A few people have said they didn't know about that, so it's a good job I did the video, because I checked it on the cruise control in the early hours of Saturday morning and discovered that we're going to be in Cartagena longer. They may also do a bridge tour that day as well. So please take advantage of that if you want to go and see what the bridge staff do, what the officers do up there. That's a fantastic experience. I've done it on several of the ships. It is fantastic. You usually get a photograph included as well of the group that do it, plus the captain and the officers up there. Some of them get on the shot as well. It is well worth doing, and you have to go to reception to book that as well. And it's usually about 10 to 15 or even 20 quid. Again, look out in the cruise news for if they do a bridge tour, and it will say, please stop by reception to book your place. I would highly recommend it, so please go and book it. If you don't want to do it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to, but it's just a nice experience if you've never cruised before and you want to see what goes on behind the scenes on the bridge tour. And also at sea, they usually do a behind the scenes of the Broadway Show Lounge team, okay? So you can usually go backstage and see how the show team prepare for the shows each night that you watch on the cruise, including the guest acts that they have. That's also worth doing as well on sea day. So they may do that on the first or second sea day, because we've got 2 before we get to Spain. The Dress to Impress night is likely to be on the first sea day, but again, check the cruise news, which you should get in the room on the Tuesday night. Obviously, if you're boarding in Gran Canaria, then obviously you won't get that till Tuesday night when we've left Tenerife. But obviously, just check the cruise news, and it usually says tonight is our Dress to Impress, and obviously it will tell you what time it starts, and it's most likely going to be in the atrium. You'll see the captain and all his officers on the steps by the 2 lifts. So obviously go to that. You can go to any of the restaurants for dinner. You don't have to go to the waiter one if you don't want to. You can go up to Islands and have a buffet up there. Or if you've booked a specialty restaurant like Corallar, Surf and Turf, or the sushi bar, go to those. Okay? But that's just a bit of advice from an experienced cruiser. So I'm hoping this is helping. Right, second point I want to get to now. In Cartagena. Now, because the ships go in there for extra time, from 8 till 3, I've decided, in line with a guy that mentioned something on social media earlier, to go and pay a visit to the Roman amphitheatre that's there. Now, according to what he put on social media, it is literally not far from the port. So where the ship docks, it basically docks along a long platform, right, a long area where the ship will dock, right? So if you imagine my hand is the ship docked, you basically walk in a straight line like that, you turn left, go along the path, and then you go into the town that way. So you basically like a little zig, like a Z shape. So the ship's docked there, you walk in a straight line like that, and then like that. Okay, and there's a museum on the right, it's on the right hand side. So if you go on Google Maps, or maybe even go to Destination Services and have a look at the map on the screen of Cartagena, which will probably be up on the screen. And there's also a guy on Facebook who has got all the maps of all the ports, okay? And I've actually done a video on it on this playlist, the pre-cruise playlist, right? And I'll put his link in the description underneath, because on there he's got all the port maps. And if you click on the Cartagena one, it gives you the port info and also the map as well, roughly where the ship docks. And then you can see where you can go to have a look around Cartagena. And obviously, if you want to go and visit this museum, it includes the ticket to the amphitheatre as well. So on the website, it's €7 for adults to do the amphitheatre and the museum combined, which is really good value. So I'm going to go and do that. So you go into the museum, and then behind it is this amphitheatre. So it's a bit like a mini Ephesus or a mini Colosseum type of thing, right? So if you've been to Ephesus in Turkey, you'll kind of get the idea. Or like the Acropolis in Athens, where there's an amphitheatre there as well, below. You basically go to this museum in Cartagena, and then you go and visit the amphitheatre, and there's other ruins around it that you can visit as well, okay? And of course, there's a museum shop. So for €7, it is not bad. It is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 o'clock till 6. On a Sunday, it's open till 4, 10 till 4. On a Monday, it's closed. But obviously, it's not going to affect us because we call there on Friday. So it opens at 10 a.m. So the ship docks at 8. So basically, after your breakfast, you could go off. If you want to go and do something independently, obviously make sure you're back in time for the sail out, which will be at 3 o'clock. So make sure you're back in time for either 2 to past. And it will tell you on the TV screen at the gangway, and at the bottom of the gangway, what time you've got to be back. And it will also tell you, they'll probably tell you over the tannoy as well, because they usually have a destination services person come on to basically let everybody know that we've arrived in port and that the authorities have given us the clearance to go ashore. And they'll say, please be back on board. Please, could all guests be back on board by 2:30, right? Or 2 o'clock, right? But check your cruise news and obviously check the screen as you go off the gangway. Make sure you've got your cruise card to scan so that they scan it. And obviously then you'll have the same when you come back. And then you'll go through the security process again when you get back. And then you just carry on to your cabin or wherever you're going. But if you're going off independently, like I've said, make sure you are back in time for sail out. But this amphitheatre looks really good. I've never been to it. I've been to Cartagena twice, but I've not been to this amphitheatre and this museum. So I'm going to pay a visit to that. And it's just a stone's throw from the port. And then I've decided I'm going to go and sit in one of the bars, outside one of the bars after that, and go and have a couple of sangrias. Because I can't beat Spanish sangria. I love it. I've been to Benidorm. I've been to Portugal. I've had sangria there. It's fantastic. And it's give out glorious weather as well. About 20 degrees, I think, on Friday, according to BBC Weather. And the same temperature for Malta as well. And it's give out around 23 degrees for Tenerife on Tuesday. So it's looking really good, to be fair. It's looking really good. So that's my plan personally for Cartagena. But if you want to go and do your own thing, that's up to you. You can still book your trips on your cruise control hub, because there's obviously a couple of days to go. But make sure the pre-book before you go on the cruise. Make sure that your passenger information is complete, that's up to date and it's correct. Obviously make sure you've done your API prior to going, which is your advanced passenger information. So obviously that's your passport number, your expiry date, your date of birth, everything. Make sure that's complete and that everything matches your passport, your names, your given names, your middle names, everything matches, right? I've obviously been double checking mine, and I've even printed off a page where it's got it all on. So if anything happens, at least I've got proof. But usually you should be good to go, and I'm definitely going to be good to go. So I'm fine. I've got my insurance sorted, so everything's great. Okay, so that's just some advice there. And another thing, just one final thing before I obviously leave this video. If any of you out there that watch my channel, and I know there's Samantha from Birmingham, because you're going from Birmingham Airport and staying over on Monday night as well, where I'm going to be staying at East Midlands. If any of you out there that watch my channel that are going on this cruise, which includes you, Samantha, and anybody else, if you want to be in touch with me on the cruise, okay, because the Wi-Fi and the data will have gone by the time we've left Tenerife, you are welcome to give me a call to my personal cabin, in the sense of each cabin has got a phone in it, a landline, okay? So if you know the phone number of the cabin that your friends or family are in, you can ring each other's rooms, okay? So if you want to be in touch with me on the cruise, to either go and have a dinner together, right, in one of the restaurants, or go as a 2 or 3 if there's a few of you, or to go and have a drink in one of the bars, or to join me for one of the game shows or the quizzes, or to have a game of mini golf, which I'm quite happy to do, or to just chill out during the day, please give me a call to my cabin phone, okay? But what I'm not going to do at the moment, because I'm not there yet, I'm not going to obviously announce my cabin number on here at the moment. I know what it is, because obviously it's on my luggage tag, and I know it on my e-ticket as well. I'm not going to announce it on here, but if you want to be in touch with me and say, oh, hi, Cole, you know, do you fancy going out for a meal tonight, me and my husband or me and my wife? Would you like to join us? We watch your channel. We'd like to meet you, blah, 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 blah. Give me a call to my personal cabin phone, okay? So leave me a comment in the comments section under this video if you want to be in touch while on the cruise, okay? You'll obviously have to do this before we leave Tenerife, okay? Because I won't be able to message you on social media, because the data will just disappear when we've left the port within a couple of hours. So leave a comment under the video prior to us leaving Tenerife, okay? So if you see me at the airport, by all means speak to me then. If you see me around the ship videoing, speak to me then. If you see me in one of the bars, if you see me out doing the live stream, come and speak to me then. But please leave a comment under the video before Tuesday night late to let me know that you want to meet up in one of the bars or one of the restaurants, whatever day or time of the cruise, and I will gladly meet up with you, and it'll be lovely to get to know you all. And it's lovely as well that a few of you have said that my videos have been helping you with regard to the cruise, and obviously giving advice on things that you've not already known, such as this change in the itinerary for Cartagena. So I'm really glad I did that video. Over 350 people have watched that video now, so I'm really grateful. My channel has reached 900 subscribers. I'm pushing 440,000 views, so I'm really grateful to everybody out there that has supported this channel since last March. And I know this series is going to be very big. There's going to be lots of footage, lots of photographs. I'm obviously going to have a catch up with Eve and Euphoria and anybody else on the ship from other ships that I perhaps know or will bump into. It'll be lovely to meet you all. So please get to know me. Please be on the footage. Tell me your experiences about the cruise. And like I've said, if you want to be in touch on the ship for a meal or a drink, or go for a game show or a quiz, or go and have a game of mini golf, drop me a comment under this video, please. And obviously I can then contact you somehow and let you know my cabin number so that you can phone me from your own room and say, hi Cole, this is such and such a body, we follow your channel, would you like to go out tonight for a drink or a meal? You know, where would you like us to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And I can then arrange it, and we can arrange it over the phone, or we can meet up somewhere on the ship, and then we can arrange it for later on, whatever. But please be in touch if you want to do that. And that includes anybody that's going on their own. I'm going on my own. I love it. I love meeting people, solo travellers as well. So again, be in touch. So it'll be lovely to hear from as many of you as possible and be on the footage. I'm really looking forward to this cruise, and I'm sure you guys out there are as well, that are going from Gran Canaria and that are also going from Tenerife over to Cyprus as well. So again, thank you so much everybody out there for supporting this channel. And I won't tell you to subscribe. I'll put that on at the end as an outro. So I'm obviously going to do an intro as well, and then obviously start this video off. So I do apologise for the length. I'm obviously going to be doing some editing while I'm away as well, because I found out the Power Director app works and I can do editing while there's no data, because I actually turned my Wi-Fi and data off on my phone just to test it, and it works. So while we're at sea, I'll obviously be editing some videos, because I'll have quite a few episodes to upload, because I will have done loads of footage up to that point, and obviously during the days at sea. So by the time I get to Cartagena, I'm obviously going to be putting loads of videos on. So if you get loads of notifications, just don't worry about it. Obviously, when I've done the live streams in Tenerife of us leaving the port, and obviously the deck tour, they will get put on straight away. But like I've said, and I'll repeat it once more before I end this video, if you want to be in touch on the cruise, please, please, please comment on this video, and I will obviously let you know either via email or through a Facebook message, private message if you want to. Just pop up on Messenger on social media, and I will let you know my cabin number, and you can give me a quick call, and I can say, yes, this is Cole, let's meet up, and that'll be lovely, okay? And that's the same if you want to go and watch a show, if you want to go and watch The Comedian, if there's a guest act on. And also another highlight before I finish there on regards to shows, another highlight show to go and watch is the Crew Talent Show. That's always very good to go and watch as well. It's usually held quite late at night, around 11 to past. Usually after one of the Broadway Show Lounge team have done their show, or the guest act, there's usually a crew show on. That's also interesting to watch, because you get used to watching all these waiters and waitresses serving you drinks and food, but they've actually got a lot of talent. A lot of them are very good at dancing, they're very good at singing, they're very good at all sorts, and it's really good to watch the crew, okay, do their shows. You know, you think, oh, this is such and such a body from this bar or this bar. Honestly, they are fantastic. The hard work they put in, and they get pittance for what they do, but they do towel animals on the ship as well. They're very talented. That's another good thing to watch on Sea Day. The towel animal demonstration, make sure you video that. The cocktail demo, the ice sculpture. There's obviously categories. I love that game where they split the deck in half, and then obviously you have to guess words out of letters, etc. There's the mystery voices as well. So there's loads of entertainment on Sea Day. You won't get bored. You've got the mini golf. There's obviously spa treatments you can go and have. There's the Broad Street shops. They're open all day. Food's available all the time. Drinks are available all the time. And obviously, if you want an adult-only section, you can go into the glass house between 2 and 5, and that's an adult-only between 2 and 5, so you can go in the pool and the jacuzzi pool. And at the back of the ship, there's an adult-only section where you can sit out on little sun loungers. So there's plenty of places to go where it's quiet, okay? So I'm hoping this video has given you a rook of information. So again, please, I won't tell you to subscribe, I nearly did, but I'll put that at the end. But again, if you want to be in touch on the cruise, drop me a comment in the comment section, you know, and then you can give me a quick call to my cabin, and we can go for a drink or something to eat. So I look forward to meeting as many of you as possible. So look out for me on board. Come and say hello. Come and be on the footage. And I will see you guys in the next video. And I will also see as many of you as possible on the cruise on Marella Discovery 2 for the reposition cruise from Tenerife over to Cyprus. It's onwards for cruising. And I look forward to going and getting to the airport and going away. So thank you for watching, and good evening.